What up, Pub Sports Radio, our Cappers Contest show. Thank you guys for joining us here on the Wednesday. We moved it a day earlier because tomorrow afternoon, Jose will be watching the Red Sox and or is it the Royals tomorrow?
No, it's Friday. Tomorrow we're actually going whale watching. That is what Helga chose. We're going to the aquarium and we're going whale watching. Helga can't hear you, so any slander that you lob at that, you're lobbing at Helga. So just be aware.
Awful. That sounds like a horrible day in Boston. So Jose can't do tomorrow, but we're doing today. So thank you guys for rolling with us. We have two things that we do here. First, we talk about our Cappers Contest show, and then we move on to our Circa Millions ticket. Our Circa Millions card week 1 went 3-2. Interestingly enough, the chat picked the top 5 picks that the whole contest picked. I'm very interested to see if that continues. Thank you guys so much for joining us. As you know, on the show, you guys pick our card, and we have polls that will be going up. Jedi for Life in the house. NJ Striker, Michael Irvelina, Davidless, Gerald Jones, Mike M, Billy Friedrich, Dabra Kadabra. We got Clint, star of the Die Hard MMA podcast, Stella Girl. Michael Irvelina goes, when do the lines pop up for our Cappers Contest and Suicide Pool? They pop up and lock in on Thursday. We're locking in at the same time the Circa Millions locks in on. Mike M says, couldn't believe the Suicide Massacre this weekend. In the Survivor pool, 13,000 entries, 4,500 left. That wasn't the same percentage that we lost. We lost less in our Survivor pool, and Jose's going to talk about that, but we lost less than any other Survivor pool I've seen. Every other Survivor pool got decimated. We didn't lose nearly as many. Steve G, Don Play, Sky Dragon, MDR24. It is great to have you guys with us. Sky Dragon says you guys keep changing the rules to the Cappers Contest, and it's getting annoying, says Sky Dragon. We haven't changed anything except we wanted to give as much time as people could to sign in. And the Circa Millions puts out, we're using the Circa lines, so they put theirs out on Thursday, so we're putting out at the same time as them.
And this is the only time we'll be doing the Cappers Contest on a Wednesday. You know, it's just a rare Wednesday Cappers Contest. So don't worry, Sky Dragon and DG. Don't worry.
He likes to complain. He gets off.
Oh, of course. Yeah, I understand the Toronto stuff. Yeah, no, I get it. I see all the Blue Jay stuff. That's why I'm on the leader of the bandwagon. Don't worry.
But look, the only thing we changed is we wanted to give everybody as much time as possible to sign up. And now we want to talk about it on Sundays. So I think the change is for good. I want to talk about it on our Sunday NFL Pub Hub show, what picks like Dennis is on. I want to see them and talk about them. We gave everybody up to kickoff just so we could have as many entries as possible. So let's first talk about the NFL Cappers Contest standings here at Pub Sports Radio. Pistol Pete, Loshak, and Babano 5-4-5, but they're not alone. Chris Brady, my man Chris out of the Pacific Northwest, he goes 5-for-5, and our guy Coin. So we have 4 Cappers out of 65 that sweep the board. Then Joe Yurkovich, Birdie, Nasty Nate, Gerald Jones, picks from Dave, Beely, Fanatical Jim, Uncle Jay, and a young Jose Bouquet go 4-1. We are going to put out the cash. Who's going to get paid in this contest? We have 65 people in it, so we're going to decide between the top 6 and the top 7. We're going to make that decision here this week and put out how much everybody gets paid. My Mama Bag went for 3 points. So did Kip Rios, Kent Davies, Colorado Bull, Jeff Slaughter, TJ, Larry Gar, Trance, myself, Top Set, Breadman, Drug Monkey RX. We're still in it. Garcia Gaming got 2 points. Maybe that's why he's so pissed off. Big Show Picks got 2. Big Ragu 2. But it's just week 1. The Nuke Worker, Dire and MMA podcast. Goji Drinking Hand, Ron Crawford, Slatsy had 2 points. Jedi for Life, who's in the chat. Only one capper went for 0. You can tell how sharp this pool is. We had a nice winning week overall. We lost the least amount of percentage in the Survivor pool. It's a really sharp group. Only Grizzle A is the only one to to go 0-4-5. That's what's up. That's where we are right now. So Pistol Pete, Loshak, and Babano with Chris Brady and Coiner on in first right now, and we're all trying to get there. Talk to us about the Survivor pool.
The Survivor pool, Well, you said we didn't lose a good percentage, but I'm licking my wounds because I took the hit. I lost on the Broncos, as did a lot of people lose on the Broncos. But we have a little video to remember all of those fallen victims this week.
Travis spoken. It's time for me to go. Bye. Travis spoken. It's time for you to go.
Goodbye. Good riddance. The craziest one of all of it is Loshak goes 5 for 5, sweeps the board, and gets knocked out of it.
Yeah, and a special shout out to the people that lost on the tie as well. That's a fucking tough way to go out. I actually have those names somewhere here. I'll find you guys right now. But extremely, extremely tough luck if you pick the tie there. DDAMU. I don't know if that's a DDAM or what. Airbase and Mr. Dan Kelly as well. I believe you also had them. So RIP, and I'm praying for you guys. And by the way, Pistol Pete loses on the Bengals. Tough.
Yeah.
Tough.
Hilarious. I love people losing on ties. Good riddance, you guys. Fucking bounce, man. But there is truth from Friendly Forger says if you want to bust out a survivor, better it be week 1. I think there is some truth to that.
Really? I would rather last the whole time, TBH.
Okay. All right. That is the Capper contest. And, we're going to put out exactly the payouts here shortly. We know that the winner of the survivor pool makes $3,600. So we know that. But we'll decide how to divvy up the $6,500 in the Cappers contest. All right. We went 3-2 in our Circa Millions ticket. And that's all we have to do. Go 3-2. But now if we go 3-2 each week, we probably don't win. We'll win something, but
we'll be in the money. We'll be in the money for sure.
We just need to win every week. We have to win every single week. And look at that. Sky Dragon says, I have another one, which I took Baltimore. Yeah, I took Baltimore. He said the one went from 74 to 21 players after week 1. Wow. I'm in the one that lost 80% of the people. So it just shows how sharp we are as a group. But let's get to work. I've got the timer here. We've got the polls ready to go. 2 minutes for each poll. You have the poll ready for the Thursday nighter. Now, the Circa Millions odds aren't up yet. They come up Thursday. So we're using the Circa Sportsbook. And interestingly enough, they have the Chiefs -5. Chiefs -5. Pull it up. 2 minutes starts right now. Chargers at Chiefs. We are still sitting in a spot where there is 40,000 tickets in, and 67% of the tickets are on the Chiefs and 60% of the cash, which means there are still big bets coming in on the Chargers, although it's hard to believe that what we saw from Mahomes in week 1 was absolute dominance. He looked unbelievable. 30 of 39, 360 yards, 5 touchdowns. They had everything they wanted, but how bad are the Cardinals and how bad is the Cardinals defense? Last year, the Chargers defense was very bad, but it looks much improved. I know it's only 1 week, but they added a bunch of spots, and Bryce Callahan looked good. Khalil Mack had 3 sacks in his debut. Bosa had a sack and a half. They look good. Now they're dealing with injuries. Keenan Allen hamstring. Austin Eckler didn't look right. That's a problem, and that's part of the reason why the money's moving towards these these Kansas City Chiefs. It's beautiful weather in Kansas City on Thursday night. I hope we don't have many Thursday nighters on our card. And in fact, I think that I'm going to have to vote Chargers just so this doesn't end up on our card. Take it away, Jose. We got another 45 seconds.
I love the scale tipping you do with your bets. It's very funny. The one-man bet by the one-man vote, I should say. Yeah, I like the Chargers at this number. I saw the number at 3.5 at a lot of other places for the Chiefs. So I'm a little surprised it's this high. Definitely would like to stay away from the Thursday games too. So it'd be Chargers or nothing for me. And even then, I don't want to bet against Patrick Mahomes right now. I think they're on a mission, and they are, spoiler alert, they're one of my Super Bowl teams this year.
Yeah, they look really good, but let's not get too carried away. We have 14 seconds left to vote. 33 votes are in, 14 seconds left to vote. Will this one make our card? 5 seconds left, Jose. All right, that's 2 minutes. Let's see, where are we?
It does not seem like it's going to be on our card. Only a 55%, 54% on the Chiefs -5. So no thanks for our chat right there.
That makes me happy. I don't want too many Thursday nighters on our card. And as you guys know, as some of you know from the pop-up show, my dad sent in a $200 bet on the Chiefs, and I didn't send it in. So I didn't send, and I'm not going to send in his bets. Even if he wins this one, he'll have to go up $1,000 before I send in any of his action. All right, we move on to Sunday. We start with New York Jets at Cleveland Browns. We good? Okay, tell me if we're all good. Okay, sorry, that sound scared me. New York Jets.
We're talking Jets football, Jimmy. Come on.
The timer has started. Let's move over to the line history here and the cash flow. And sorry, I should have had this up already. Let's move over quickly to this one. But we know what's up. There has been a move to the Jets, who have announced that Flacco will be their starting quarterback. That's what we expected.
Yeah,
that's what we expected.
Yep.
Oh, sorry. Let me move that off.
That 2 more weeks. 2 more weeks of Flacco after this one too. So
I mean, it certainly wasn't Flacco's fault. I mean, through 59 passes, I don't think that's what you want. But we have a half-point move to the Jets from 6.5 to 6. And when we go over to the cash flow, 48% of the tickets and 82% of the cash are on the Jets. That's nuts to me. But Jose, I'm not going to vote on this one. Do you agree with this move towards the Jets? Is Jacoby? I'm making fun of somebody else. That's why. Jacoby Brissett. Is Jacoby Brissett the reason?
I'm a Jets guy. Everyone knows this. And by the way, I fixed the thing. Don't you guys worry. The Jets are +6, not -6. But it's weird because the game plan, and I need to double check this. 59 passes for Mr. Joe Flacco. I understand they obviously got behind, whatever. But I honestly like the Jets here. I think the Jets win this game, and I personally will be betting them outright here. Joe Flacco, I understand how horrible he is, but I like the Jets here. I think the Browns might get a little too big for their britches. Sauce Gardner looked great. Hopefully they can stop the run there. But I like the Jets here. I'm going to be betting them at the 6 for me.
I guess I get it. I don't want it. I can understand why it's sharp, but Chubb runs for 141 yards, Hunt for 46 yards. Look, I trust Salah, and I thought the New York's defense holding Baltimore to 274 yards of total offense wasn't the fact that the Jets are that good defensively, although I think they're going to be decent. I think it's the Baltimore's not that good offensively, and I'm confident on the Dolphins today. All right, there we go. There's 2 minutes and 15 seconds. We gave it a little bit longer so because of the switch up. Let's see where we're at here. Wow.
That's tough. Last week, this would not have made our card because it was 70%.
Yeah.
But this week, obviously, different week. We don't know how it's going to go. 68% on the Cleveland Browns. And I have a feeling that it's going to be a lot of betting against the Jets this year. So this would be an interesting show to see how it goes. But I agree. I agree with Friendly Forger. I don't think that the Browns are 6 points better with Jacoby Brisket.
Jacoby Brisket.
My favorite player, Jacoby Ellsbury, if we're going to talk Jacobys.
We know what the Sharps did week 1. They dominated. And now we're going against the Sharps here. Remember, 48% of the tickets, 82% of the cash on the Jets, and it's gone from 6.5 to 6. That scares me. It scares the shit out of me. I hope that doesn't make our card. Let's move on to the next spot on the board, and it is the Washington Commanders at Detroit Lions. Let's get the vote up, and let's start the timer, and the timer has begun. We'll start with the line history here in this one. This one opened up with the Commanders +1.5. They're now +2. They're 2-point dogs, and they're 2.5 over at Circa. That's very interesting that they moved to 2.5. Carson Wentz showed a lot of heart, I thought, after throwing those 2 picks and coming back and throwing 2 touchdown passes. There's so much love for Detroit. I mean, clearly it felt like the Eagles pulled their foot off the gas, and Detroit got to take advantage of it. And here we are with sharps again all over the Lions. Markets move towards them. 55% of the tickets, 82% of the cash on the Detroit Lions. And I'm shocked. I'm shocked that the Commanders just continue to get no love whatsoever. And I thought they played a good football team, and it wouldn't surprise me if they play another good game here. Or sorry, I thought they played a good football game, and it wouldn't surprise me if they play another one. Take it away here, Jose. What do you think?
I'm a Detroit backer this year. I am invested in their team total over, or their win total over this year. So maybe this is a more rose-colored glasses for me, but I like them a lot. Do I want to lay points with them is the real issue. And at the end of the day, I'm picking between 2 shitty quarterbacks. Give me Goff over Wentz. Give me Goff over Wentz. I understand that the Washington Commanders offense looks great now with those receivers. Dotson looked great, catching 2 touchdowns. But give me the Detroit here. It's not a play I'm feeling super confident on, so it'll be interesting to see how it goes. Sky Dragon even says laying points to Detroit foolish. I mean, I agree. So it's probably been a while since the Detroit Lions were a favorite, I'll be honest.
Yeah, I don't think we need no opinion. I really think that you can just not vote. It's quite simple. You know what? This is the first time the Lions have been favored since 2020. And I don't have confidence in them. They're a pack of losers. Is Dan Campbell going to change that with his fucking rah-rah?
I hope so.
I don't know. I don't. I hope this doesn't make our card. All right, 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Press stop. Let's see where we're at.
63%. 63%. Okay. That's not that much. But again, we'll have a better picture of the card as we go along here. But interesting to say the least there.
We move over to a fascinating situation at the Superdome in New Orleans. Buccaneers at New Orleans. We know New Orleans 4-0 against Tom Brady in the regular season. Will that change without Sean Payton? Dennis Allen was the quarterback. Was the coach when Payton was out with COVID in that 9-0 win last year. The only time that Brady's ever been shut out in his entire career. And this has moved 15 cents towards New Orleans at Pinnacle, but they're still at 3, but a 15-cent move over. Andy made the Bucks -3 at +106 a pick. I like the Bucks. I just couldn't, with the market moving so quickly towards New Orleans. I was like, why push this action in right now? Why don't you wait? And that's what I'm doing. But we do see sharp money here. 9,974 tickets in, 35% of tickets, 60% of cash on New Orleans. Sharp money on the Saints here. I wonder if this will make our card. What do you think, Jose?
Shout out to Preston Ekdahl, again, Saints fan. He knows this team inside and out. It's a ritual. It's Marcus Lattimore versus Mike Evans. Lattimore dominates Evans. It's personal too with them too. It's very fun when they go up against each other. No Godwin. They got to stop Lenny. And so I think I'll be interested into this matchup for sure. I take the Saints. I think the Saints at +3. I think they could actually win this game outright, as always, against the Bucks with Brady. It's always a good game. You said 4-0, I believe. So give me the Saints here. I'm also a big Jameis Winston guy, too. So Saints, and shout out to Ron Crawford, also liking the Saints.
Yeah, spreadsheet play today is the Saints. Where are we with time? I forgot to press start is where we are with time. So why don't we put a bow on this in about 10 seconds? Sky Dragon says, I hate this game. On one hand, Tampa should have this game circled because they always lose to Nola. On the other hand, Tampa Bay O-line sucks. And shouldn't Nola continue to get pressure on Brady? All that is completely legitimate here. And thank you, Mike M, for those kind words. We love it. All right, let's see it. Does this make our card? Are the Saints going to be on our card, or will there be a surprise in store?
71% for the Tampa Bay Bucks.
Woo!
71% for the Tampa Bay Bucks. By the way, shout out to Dabby Cab, who's also helping us producing the show. And I accidentally just hit a comment. So keep doing your thing, Dabby. I don't mean to do that. But shout out to Dabby helping as well on the show. 71%. Did not expect that. Did not expect that at all.
Not expect that. All right, let's keep moving. We move over to Carolina Panthers at New York Giants. And my gut my gut is a losing capper. My gut likes the over. My gut likes the Giants, and everything is going against those two looks here in Panthers, New York Giants. We'll start with the pinnacle line history in this one and pull it up here. This opened up with the Giants at 2.5, and that's where it stands. So it has not moved at pinnacle, although that 2.5 for the Giants was minus 110. It's now plus 103. It's now plus 103. So there has been a 13-cent move towards the Carolina Panthers. I think gamblers want to back the Giants as dogs and don't want to as favorites, and that's all fair. But I think this is a completely different football team now that Daboll and Kafka are in charge. They're changing everything for this squad and letting them believe that 2-point convert was so huge for Daboll's coaching career. I thought just to get him all the confidence in the world. 9,885 tickets in, 64% of tickets, 70% cash on Carolina. I don't know what to say. Do you agree with the sharps here, Jose?
I do. Baker Mayfield, the first half of that game was him. He, you know, in baseball, people say this all the time. When you see someone take a big swing, he tried to hit like a 10 home run with one swing. That's what he was trying to do. He was just trying to grip the game. He's like, I want to win this game so bad. And I think honestly, I think it fucked them up. Now, do I love his post-game comments after the game where he's like, oh, why was it? This game wasn't even a big deal. Who said that? No, but I think they win this game. And I don't trust the Giants. I don't trust Daniel Jones. He played well this last week. And I mean, even he didn't really play well. He still had his fumbles and shit. I still think that the Giants are not going to be a good football team. Will they compete in this division? I actually think they're going to come in second place in this division. Is that going to be a high record total? I don't think so. So I like Carolina here, but we'll see.
Cheshire Cat's just talking nonsense now. He said he voted Carolina because Jimmy said he leaned the Saints. These two teams aren't playing each other, and I didn't lean the Saints. And if you are just so stupid in the chat, I'll fucking bounce you. I'll fucking cut you off everything we do here because that's the dumb. Please try to pay some fucking attention. Fucking because he's saying Saints.
Guys,
understand what fucking game is on, Cheshire Cat. Don't be a fucking clown. Like that's just fucking stupid. God, that pisses me off. Okay, here we go. 2 minutes, 35 seconds went a little long because I had to rant on Cheshire Cat being a fucking idiot. Take it away here. We have Giants minus 2.5, 53%. Well, that's
it's a pass game. It's going to be one of those games that's going to be tough to cap on both sides.
I'm happy that that's not in. God, I'm so close. I'll switch over to Pub Sports Radio and bounce Cheshire forever from every show we do, and you'll have to ask someone to get you back in if you don't understand what games we're talking about and you're just being a fucking dick. Okay, we move on. Patriots at Steelers here. This one I find so fascinating. I do like the Patriots, and I moved on them at minus 1.5. Let's see if it's 2.5 everywhere. Let's see if it's 2.5 everywhere. Wow, it's gone to 2.5 everywhere. I moved on them 1.5 yesterday. The big move was at 2 p.m. today. I guess it's not an important number, whether it's 1 or 2.5. I guess that doesn't matter that much. Seems to matter a little more in the last couple of years, but I guess it doesn't matter that much. We'll go over to the ticket count, 14,980, 34% of tickets, 59% of cash on the Patriots. And I like that. I like the Patriots here. I do. I think the more I sat with that game against the Dolphins and the more I started believing in the Dolphins, I thought, you know what? The Patriots should improve. I can understand what Belichick was saying about the amount of time they spent in the red zone. I'm not that concerned about Mac Jones' back injury, although it could help you be concerned. They completely shut down the Dolphins' running game, and now you have a Steelers team with no TJ Watt and a Steelers team that's going to have to use Jalen Warren at running back with Najee Harris dealing with this foot injury. What do you think here, Patriots, Steelers?
Yeah, I'm a little surprised at the movement. I thought people would be on Pittsburgh here. The Patriots looked horrifying, truly horrifying. I agree with you about the back injury for Mac, though. Spasms, and those are kind of random things pop up every once in a while. Whatever. The real thing I'm worried about is Najee Harris. Obviously, Billy Friedrich's mentioning he might have a Liz Frank, a lot of foot injuries, et cetera. I don't know. He's one of the best players on that offense, if not the best. Mitch Trubisky will need the running game You could not go back there and throw the ball a bunch of times. So if I had to pick, I'm going Steelers here, but it's a tough game.
Yeah, I'm confident the Patriots are going to make me money.
Yeah, the line movement is a big thing, like Lee Davis is saying. The line movement, I think, is definitely a big indicator that we overreact on week 1 with the Pats, and they'll come back and smack Pittsburgh. I mean, if Pittsburgh and New England face all the time, and we all know that the Patriots dominate them. Obviously, different quarterbacks, but I think that stuff matters still when we're talking coaching-wise.
All right, let's shut it down here. 2 minutes is more than up. Let's see what it is. Wow.
58% on the Pittsburgh Steelers there. I don't think that'll make our card, but an interesting percentage there, to say the least.
Wow, that makes me nervous. And some talk about the under in this spot. I agree that the under is something that maybe I should have moved on already. 72% of tickets, 94% of cash on that under. Sorry, I know this doesn't help us, but what happened with that under? I'll look at that when we're doing the next one. Sorry. Let's move on. Next up, we have the Colts at Jaguars in Jacksonville, Florida. This one is very interesting and tricky, this division matchup. The Jags just keep getting love from everybody, and I don't know why. The line has moved to Pinnacle 7 cents in their direction. It's now minus 113, which means we can imagine that there'll be a plus 3.5 up here shortly. Let's move over to the cash flow in this one. The sharps are all over these Jags once again. We have 51% of tickets, 84% of cash on the Jags. All this Jacksonville Jaguar love, and I don't get it. I don't like when we expect someone to not be a loser. Like Baker Mayfield has had every possibility, with the team in front of him, every chance to not be a loser, but he's a loser. He loses football games. The Jaguars are losers. Someone has to come in and drastically change that. And I think Dable's done that for the Giants. And I don't see Peterson doing that for the Jags. And the Colts, everyone has this bias because of how bad they looked in week 1. But Dennis Garcia talked about it in the chat. They have a brand new quarterback, and it's going to take them a little while to get going. They've had 5 different quarterbacks last 5 years. That's why their September numbers are so bad. What do you think here? Jose, take it away.
Yeah, I'm one of the people that likes Jacksonville. I kind of did expect them. That was my one loss in Capper's week 1. I was on Jacksonville over the Commanders there. Am I gonna do it again? I don't know. I think the Colts are just the better team here, and 4 points I think is a little bit too little. I guess too little of points here. I kind of expected this to be like a 6.5, truthfully. So I like Indianapolis. Do I want to bet Indianapolis? I really don't, with Matt Ryan at the helm. It's just a little bit of Falcons PTSD, but I think this one might make our card, Jim, by the way this is looking up so far.
Well, I'm not going to know what it is because I'm not going to vote on it. I don't feel like I should get involved here. And sorry, Cheshire, for threatening to ban you forever. It's just like I care about this show. And if you're not even listening to the games that are being on and they're just trying to fuck with it, then it did make me very angry. And it looks like Indiana. Wow. Colts are going to make our card. I'm comfortable with that. Makes me a little nervous.
I think that number when we go forward on this show, it's definitely going to be 70%. If it hits that 70% marker, it definitely could land on our card.
Brooklyn Funk Project said, look what happened to Wentz when Peterson and him parted. Look, we've seen what Peterson has done with quarterbacks. So he should he be able to do that with Trevor Lawrence? Is Trevor Lawrence as good as everybody thinks? I know these are questions that we'll have to answer as we go. Okay, let's keep rolling. We got to keep a brisk pace, but that is the number 1 spot now on our entire card. Is that right, Jose?
Yes, it is. 75%. The next closest was the Browns at 68.
Now, it's so important for Slaughter that this is completely your decisions in the chat. And I don't think he wants me to lead you guys in any which direction, but my goodness, do I think the Dolphins are the play here come Sunday.
Yeah, I have not heard your breakdown on this yet, so I'm excited to hear what you say. I like both of these squads. I'm invested in the Baltimore offense, but I want to hear what you think on this.
It's the Baltimore offense. That's the problem. Bateman, Duvernay are so weak that you can put all your energy on Mark Andrews. You have Kenyon Drake at RB1 because of injuries. You have no Ronnie Stanley, and then his replacement, Jawan James, goes down, carted off the field with a torn Achilles tendon. So now you have a third stringer at left tackle. You have Lamar Jackson, who didn't sign the extension, so he seems hesitant to want to really risk his body leaving the pocket. I liked what I saw from the Dolphins. I think they get better and better and better. I like Mike McDaniel, and this will definitely be on my contest picks, and I've bet it already. And but let's take a quick look at the line history here for a second. We have the Dolphins opening up as 3.5-point dogs, and they're still 3.5-point dogs. So we got 4 here because we're using the circle lines. From a total perspective, we don't need a total perspective. From a cash look here, we have these 58% of tickets and 49% of the cash on the Dolphins. So the sharper cash is coming in on Baltimore. Take it away. Jimmy Slat says, Jimmy, with 4, we got to have the Dolphins here. Take it away, Jose. What do you think?
It's interesting. Ron Crawford, a good point. The Jets outgained Baltimore last week. I don't watch many Jets games because I'm watching on Red Zone, and obviously the Jets don't pop up on Red Zone very often. So I don't know how the Jets offense and all that shit did. So I can't speak firsthand on that. But I like Miami a lot. And the whole thing as well is what is Tua going to do? What is Tua going to do? And he played pretty well last time, and I think his play will get better and better as the season goes on. I was pleasantly surprised. Waddle and Tyreek Hill both did their things. I think they looked phenomenal as well. Just kind of catch the ball and just go. You know, that's the Mike McDaniel's way. Am I going to be concerned if they go down like 10 points immediately? Do I think they'll come back? I honestly don't. I don't know if Mike McDaniel's going to be that guy, the rah-rah guy like Dan Campbell is. If you just put Mike McDaniels and Dan Campbell into one human, that would be a great coach. It'd probably be Bill Belichick. But I ultimately will pass on this game. I like both squads, honestly.
I loved seeing Waddle out there after he missed most of the preseason with that injury. I think, God, this Tyreek and Waddle are so dangerous, man. All right, let's see what's up.
73% on Miami. 73% there. So it's a high number. It's in the top right now.
And look, Lee Davis, Cheshire Cat on the Ravens. I mean, we have sharps here on the Ravens. It makes me nervous, and I could be very wrong here, but I did not like what I saw from Baltimore. And I knew there was no reason to risk against the Jets, and there will be reason to risk here. Okay, let's keep rolling. Next up, Falcons, Rams. And look, the Falcons just rip the still beating hearts of their fans out of their chest and stomp on them. Really funny stats. Todd Furman tweeted this out. When leading by 15 points in the fourth quarter, every NFL team other than the Falcons, 244 and 2. 244 wins, 2 losses, 1 tie. The Falcons are 5-3.
I wish that was a bit. I really wish that was a bit. It's so not the Falcons. Oh, God, I love it.
But some people saying 10.5 is too much. So on the show yesterday, I talked about I was going to move on the Rams first half, but I saw Pinnacle holding it at 6.5. It was 7 in my book, and I couldn't bet it. If I got a free bet, I would take the Rams -7 first half. 10.5 full game. I think the Rams do cover this, but we've seen this line open up at 11, move to 10.5. And when we want to go over to the cash flow here, we have 41% of the tickets and just 26% of the cash on the Rams. So sharp money's coming in on the Falcons. It's gone from 11.5 to 10. I'm not going to vote on this one. Jose, what do you think?
Give me the Falcons. I love them. I think they're going to be a better team than people expected. I feel like I said this in week 1. I didn't have the cojones to take the Falcons in game 1. I almost took them 5.5. Glad I didn't take a money line. You just cannot bet on the Falcons money line, and it should be an automatic bet when they're up a lot. Just bet on the other side. But I think that the Rams are. I don't want to say chopped liver. I don't want to go that far, but I think they're not good. I think they're not going to be a good ball club this year. So I personally like the Falcons plus 10.5. I think double digit points in week 2 is a little aggressive, but we'll see here for sure. Honestly,
I'll trust you guys. I'll trust you guys on this. I'm not going to vote. This will be another one I won't. I'm going to try to vote as rarely as possible.
Just when you want to, tip the scales a little bit,
Yeah.
Just want a little some ballot stuffing is what Jimmy is. Jimmy Ballot Stuffers is now what we're calling you now around here, Jim.
Okay. If that won't make our card, Atlanta plus 10.5 at 56%. I'm looking forward to watch that just because I want to see what the Rams do. All right, that's the morning games. We move on to afternoon action. We're going to start with Seattle Seahawks at San Francisco 49ers. I thought this was a sharp line, and when it went down to 8.5, I was, oh my gosh, is this going to keep happening? And then it went down to 8. It went down to 8, and I couldn't believe it. It was at 8 for 2.5 hours, and then someone hammered the Niners, and it moved to 10. A 2-point jump at Pinnacle.
Yeah, you scared me.
Sorry, my man?
You scared me there. I was like, 8. I've got a 9.5 as the line. So I immediately started looking at going to the lines.
Yeah, it moved from 8 to 10. It opened at 10. It's a wild thing. But this 9.5 is legit because the 10 at Pinnacle's minus 124. If you want the 10 for the Niners, it's plus 110. So this is a 9.5. Could come down to 9. I'm on the under in this spot. Let's take a look at the cash flow and see where the sharp money is. And there's no sharp money. 51% of the tickets, 55% of the cash is on the Niners. I'm on the under 42.5. And I don't believe what I saw from Seattle. I think that was, it was said in the chat, that was their Super Bowl. That, Russell Wilson came back and they played incredible. Geno played amazing. In the second half, Geno played like Geno. We all made a ton of money on the under. And is Trey Lance going to improve? Yes. How fast will he improve? I don't know. And at what level does he get to with the improvement? And then you have Elijah Mitchell now out 2 months with an MCL sprain, which takes Deebo Samuel often out from the wide out position into the running back position. Can Jawan Jennings and Brandon Ayuk do it without Deebo out there? I mean, these are all legit questions. What do you think here?
This is a really tough game. This is a good ass line, like you mentioned. But I don't want to bet on the 49ers at double digits. I truly don't. 9.5, close enough. Trey Lance, scary. I'll admit that. Obviously, the rain and the monsoon didn't help, but it was worrisome. So we'll see. We'll see for sure. If I had to play one here, I think I'm taking Seattle. Geno looked better last night than he did at any point in his Jets career. I watched all of his Jets games. I mean, it's ridiculous. It is very frustrating. I'll always hold a grudge against him for knocking me out of the survivor pool. That being said, if I had to take a side, I guess I'm taking Seattle, but I'm not feeling very confident about it. And I like that underlook for sure.
I like it too. Preston backing it up says first team to 17 wins. Okay, I'm nervous about this one. Let's see.
4% on the Seattle Seahawks there. It'll be close. It'll be close. I love all these numbers of all starting to get closer up. No 95% this week. We'll see. We'll see for sure how these lines are going to shape up.
That makes me nervous. It's funny. NFL can be so tricky. And here's a tricky one. Bengals, Cowboys. Now, maybe some of you guys are sitting here going, it's not tricky. Hammer the Bengals. I get that. I completely get that. This is moved to 8 now. It was at 7. Let's see what Pinnacle is hanging it at. They're not at 8, but most books have moved it to 8. They're still at 7.5. And the Bengals aren't even that juiced. In fact, there's been 4 cents of movement to Dallas at Pinnacle in the last 24 or 18 hours. We'll take a look at where the cash lies in this one. This game is it makes me nervous because if I don't know how the NFL succeeds so enormously, I'd be like, come on, we got to take the Bengals, But now we have 14% of the tickets and 37% of the cash on Cooper Rush and the Dallas Cowboys. And Birdie talked yesterday on NFL on Gridiron Gamblers. He talked about how this was a similar situation as last year, and Cooper Rush came in and they beat Minnesota outright. I think the Bengals are going to improve, and they should have won that game against Pittsburgh, and everything went in Pittsburgh's way. But this is the type of spot where the NFL points and laughs at the public. So I'm not going to vote. What side do you vote on, Jose?
I agree with you 100% on that last comment. The NFL, I think, and this is probably a universal thing, I think it's the hardest sport to cap and win at and they know their lines. There's a little amount of games, whatever. But I really think that Dallas +8 might be the play here. And it feels gross betting it. It feels absolutely gross betting it. But the Cooper Rush experience is going to fade as it goes on. Like if that first game, he'll come out and probably play the best game of the games he'll play. So I expect this game coming up to be the best game he plays, and the rest is just slowly, as the tape comes out more and more of it, the defense see it, he'll get shittier and shittier, and we'll see. But Cooper Rush has been that backup quarterback for a long time, and whenever he comes on the field, no Cowboys fan feels confident. So do I want to bet against Joey Burrow and the Bengals? No. But do I want to bet on them here this week? I don't know.
Both Super Bowl finalists are angry. They're angry groups, and everybody's poking the bear here. I can't wait to see what the percentages are. Let's see them, Jose.
70% on the Cincinnati Bengals.
Wow.
It makes sense. I mean, why would you want to bet on Cooper Rush at the end of the day? Why would you want to bet on Cooper Rush?
Wow. I did not expect that.
Yep, and Alex Gagnon, good points. Burrow needs to redeem himself. Chase needs to redeem himself. The O-line needs some redemption. Will they get it here?
Wow, that was fun. Okay, let's keep rolling. Next up, we have Houston Texans, Denver Broncos. Let's go. This one's going to be interesting. Lovie Smith has, losing just follows him around. I was surprised that he got the job.
You're feeling, you're in a punching mood today, Jim. This is almost like when you said Jameis doesn't have the mental capacity to be a quarterback last year. This feels like this again. Oh my God.
When have you seen Lovie Smith be a winner?
That's a good point. But at least this Texas team is now competent.
I shouldn't say love. I like the Texans. I like their pickups. There's a lot that I like. I like them trusting Davis Mills. I love Jerry Hughes. I think I like their draft this year. There's a lot to like, but I just don't understand why we don't give new voices a chance, and how some of these old school coaches can just lose everywhere they go and keep getting jobs. Like
he didn't even do well at Illinois. He did not do well at Illinois. Let's just put it like that.
A 5-cent move here to the Houston Texans at 10. And when we go over to the cash flow here, we have 8,271 tickets in, 68% of tickets and 87% of the cash on Houston. I mean, the Sharps are they're all over Houston. I thought Brandon Cooks looked good. OJ Howard looked good, but they were outgained 517 to 299. And this is an angry Broncos group, a very, very angry Broncos group. I do not have a dog in the fight. So Junebug says Lovey took the Bears to the Super Bowl.
Oh, a long time ago.
No, Junebug, you're right.
Long time ago, though.
You're right. No, Lovey's done it before, but has the game passed him. Take it away here for us, Jose. What do you think on this spot?
I love Lovie Smith. Here we go. I'm on the Lovie train. I think that the Texans cover here. Close. Denver win. I think, again, this is just kind of echoing my same thoughts. Double digit this early. I just don't think that you should be favored by that this early at the end of the day. It's Texans here. They looked okay. Damian Pierce didn't even run all that well. I didn't look at the snap breakdown. I saw a whole lot of Rex Burkhead as well, which is always concerning. Texans not bad. My concern, if you're going to take them, Surtain's going to guard Brandon Cooks most likely, and that is essentially the only running back or the only wide receiver you have. It's going to be a lot of running the ball. Denver's defensive line's pretty good. Bradley Chubb, a machine. So I'm leaning Texans here, but I think it'll be like a 7-point win for them. Maybe even a 10-point we get covered by the hooker. But I definitely like the Texans here as well.
I don't. I think it's an angry Bronco squad, and but let's see. Let's pop this vote up.
70% on the Texans plus a 10.5. So I'll tell you, Nathaniel Hackett did not look like a good coach last night.
That scares the shit out of me. That scares me so much. Please, Ella, please. I'm busy working. The door was not locked. Can somebody lock this door?
Oh no. Okay. See, now Ella's making me mess up my polls now. Ella, oh my goodness, Ella.
You gotta go. I love you. Sweetheart.
Ella,
I'll be right back. I love you. Okay, let's keep rolling. Arizona Cardinals, 425 Peaches board. Arizona Cardinals at Las Vegas Raiders. Allegiant Stadium is next for us, and this one will be interesting. Let's pull it up. We have the huge move towards Vegas. Now, 6-point favorites. This was 3.5 48 hours ago, and it's now 6. And I know a ton of people who've messaged me beating themselves up for not getting on the Raiders at 3.5, but now you have to get them at 6. It's 5 here.
Yep, it's 5 at Circa, which is really nice.
5 at Circa. Look, how could Arizona have looked any worse? The only thing you can say in their benefit is they played what could be the best team in the league. But the Cardinals won 8 of their last 9 on the road. You know, Josh McDaniels did not look great in his first game, but I think the Chargers are a really good football team. So, you know, I like the Raiders here, but do I like them at this number? We want to get in, we want to buy low on teams and sell high. And I imagine everybody's going to want the Raiders here. I like the comments that Derek Carr said after the game. Derek Carr's just a hell of a leader. Let's take a look at the cash in this one. We have 53% of the tickets, 66% of the cash on the Raiders. What do you think here, Jose?
Yeah, the Josh McDaniels experience is not something I want to jump on board. Patriots fans did not like Josh McDaniels at several points. It's so tough, this game. I'm ultimately passing on all these NFC West battles. See, there's my football knowledge coming in there. I pass. These two teams are probably going to miss the playoffs. If I had to take a side, it would be Las Vegas here, but a lot of good cappers on the Cardinals. Shout out to Diehard MMA Podcast, aka Clint. Overreaction of the week, Cardinals money line here. I'm interested to see how Kyler Murray plays. That's the main guy I'll be watching, and I think this is going to be an over game as well. If we're going to mention this real quick, Cardinals defense is horrific, so fucking bad. So give me the Cardinals here if I had to take a side, but it's a tough one. I don't want to put it on my card, really.
Yeah, and Dennis Garcia also on the Cardinals. Let's see what the vote says. I'm very interested here.
Let us see here. A little 60% on Las Vegas. By the way, Danny Lopez, another good point. It was double XP weekend on Call of Duty last week. So obviously Kyler Murray was a little preoccupied. Maybe we'll get him focused up for this week. And again, beware, because if a new Call of Duty comes out, Kyler's cooked as well. Jimmy, you won't understand all that, but
yeah, I don't know anything about what you just said, but I hope it was a salient for the cappers in the chat. Okay, the Sunday nighter, Bears, Packers. This one is going to be fun. We'll be live right here on Pub Sports Radio. Razor Sharp Picks will be joining me and screaming shot time often, especially if Green Bay looks good here. Green Bay opened up -8 at Pinnacle. They're now -10. It's a big 2-point jump towards Green Bay. Then when we go to the cash flow here, you have 37% of the tickets and 75% of the cash on the Green Bay Packers. Sharps are on the Packers. They believe that they'll figure everything out. Obviously, the receiving core looked bad. Tonyan has to step up, and Romeo Doubs has got to show that he's capable of being a number one. The first game without Devontae Adams was ugly. They have issues on their offensive line, but they also have the Bears number. And I'm not sure what to make of that Bears win in the pouring rain, but at least Poles and Eberflus can be confident going into their second game as general manager and coach of the Bears. What do you think here, Jose?
I wish this line wasn't as high, man, because if it was the 8.5 or whatever it was, I would be looking towards the Packers here, but I'll keep saying it. I don't think anyone should be double-digit favorite this early. This early? I don't think so. I understand the Bears. They didn't play the game of their lives because obviously that monsoon helped them out. 49ers lose a running back. It kind of worked out well for them. But I think the Bears lose this game. By how much is ultimately the real question. I don't trust Rodgers and his wide receivers still. Got to show me it. So I guess I'm taking Chicago. And I'll be honest, Drug Monkey RX is saying if Lazard's back, I like the Packers. Adam Lazard's not a fucking superstar playmaker that's going to make me flip from one side to the other, unfortunately. So give me the Bears. And it's not going to be very often we're going to say this throughout the year.
Well, let's see what's going on because we have 2 games left, and Sharpie's prize picks pops off in 15 minutes. The Walking Dead.
Shout
All
out
right.
to Sharpie. A little 52% on the Bears, so we can move on from that one, but it's going to be a good game. It's going to be a fun game and a fun live stream with Razor Sharp picks.
I can't wait. And I'm drying out until then, so I can't wait to.
I'm worried about you that night. I just want to let you know now. I'm worried about you that night.
Yeah, and I will. I owe a shoey for us hitting 20,000 subscribers. So not only will I be hitting the Kraken, but I owe my second official shoey, and it's going to be better than the first one. I know the trick now. Okay, we move on to the Monday Nighters. And I can't get too lit up on Sunday because I'll be right here on Monday. Tennessee Titans, Buffalo Bills. I did move on the Bills first half, -6.5 yesterday. And my confidence in the Bills was the reason why I ended up getting off of the Rams first half. But there is a chance of showers, and I've been following that very closely. Let's take a look at the line history over at Pinnacle in this Monday Nighter. We have this opened up with the Bills -9.5. They're now -10. And let's take a look at where the cash lies on this one. You know, the Bills with extra rest and still feeling like they have something to prove in a game where, you know, Tennessee is giving them trouble. 67% ticket, 68% of cash on the Bills. If you took a look at the wide receiving core, like Tannehill's not a very talented quarterback. He's a good leader and he can get the job done, but he doesn't have a ton of talent. Now he's throwing to Kyle Phillips and Dontrell Hilliard because Robert Woods and Nick Westbrook-Ikine had 1 catch each. So all of it goes on to Derrick Henry. I just don't know how they're going to get the job done. In saying that, I don't like these double-digit favorites, and I don't know. I don't know what to do here, but I do like the Bills first half. Andy got it on the show at -6. I bet it at -6.5. What do you think here, Jose?
Yeah, I think that this line is ridiculous as well, but if I had to pick one of the minus double-digit favorites this week, it is the Bills for me. Bills are phenomenal, and obviously, I think the winner of the Super Bowl is going to be either Chiefs or the Bills. TBH, whoever wins that playoff matchup, whenever it comes, will be the Super Bowl champion. I think. And you're right about Tennessee. The fucking line, the wide receiver are horrible. They've only got King Henry, and if he goes down, they're going to be one of the worst teams in football. So I personally would rather take the Bills here at the 10. I like your first half look. If we could submit first half looks, this would be one of the first half looks I'm sure we would put in here. But yeah, I like the Bills -10 here. This is the only one of the card that I would take if I had to take one.
I love the when the stands that Dennis Garcia takes. And he says Buffalo -10 is why I'm fading them all year. Mike M says -10 seems high, but you just can't auto fade the Bills or you're going to get hammered.
Yeah, Ron Crawford, by the way, he said earlier, biggest overreaction of the week, seeming to be a popular theme of this week. The biggest overreaction of the week is in this game. He's taking the Tennessee Titans +10.
I mean, these are the sharpest dudes that we know. Preston Ekdahl says better off betting the Bills Super Bowl futures than them every week. The 5-1 is just not a future I'll ever make. Okay, it looks like that won't make our card. All right, let's get through the last game so then we can hear from Jose. And Jose, this time I want you to go from 5th to 1st.
When you want some drama?
Yes, I always want it. 5th to 1st. And then I also if you could do, I want 7th to 1st. If you could, I'd like to hear the ones that just miss.
I confirm will not erase all the ones that did not make the cut this week.
So if you could go from 7th, 6th, 5th down to 1, I would love that the most. Okay.
I will do that.
Here we go. Last game on the board, Vikings, Eagles. Man, this is going to be so much fun to live bet. It's a really tough spot to bet before then. Vikes open up at +3. It gets hammered. They're now +1. A 2-point move at Pinnacle is a big, big move if it's not injury related, and it's not. So why does this confuse us all? Because 31% of the tickets and 55% of the cash are on the Eagles. So why is that, and when did the cash come in? I mean, these are questions that need to be answered. Sure, the Kevin O'Connell era started beautifully. His ability to keep Jefferson away from Jair Alexander was very, very elite coaching. Did the Eagles the Eagles are loved by so many this year, and I guess they just took their foot off the gas. Jalen Hurts looked good. AJ Brown looked great. Now they lose Derek Barnett to a torn ACL. Are they still going to have enough to put enough pressure on the Vikings? This is very tough. Robert Franklin says Cousins on primetime, leaning Eagles. J Dub says Eagles spot easy. Coacta says Cousins is 1-7 on Monday Night Football. I honestly think that he's going to break through that. That's something that we talk about in the past, but we'll see. Jose, what do you think here? Final game on the board.
I think that Kirk Cousins is extremely hard to trust, but these are two teams that I both enjoy. Again, a lot of teams I like betting on or will be betting on this week. Facing each other. I don't have an opinion on this game for one. I think the Eagles are going to be the best team in the NFC, truthfully. But it's tough. I know if I, shout out to Cheshire Cat, no shout out to Cheshire Cat. If I pass on this game, no opinion for me, honestly.
I'm going to hear what you guys have to say. And I've not bet it. We'll be live. We'll have a wild Monday night here. All right, Jose, let's lock this one in and then find out who made the cut for our Circa Millions ticket.
Yes, let us find out. Indeed, a 65% on the Minnesota Vikings. Sorry, I wrote it down for the Eagles, but it's the Minnesota Vikings. So I will tabulate all that. Jimmy, before I tabulate, or while I'm tabulating, rather, I would love if you could plug your shit one more time and give me some seconds so I can finalize this real quick.
Absolutely. The main thing here for all of us at Pub is we have Sharpies, Prize Picks, The Walking Dead popping off in 9 minutes. An hour and 10 minutes after that, we have the Daily Sesh. So big shows here for the rest of the day. Then tomorrow, Betting with the Bag in business and a huge, well, we have some great guests. Dutch Boy Fresh, one of them. He's going to give us his player props for Thursday, and then he will be hosting the live stream. And what a Thursday nighter. Chiefs, Chargers, come on. At Arrowhead, it's just too nice. Slat says fastest hour ever. I love this show so much. And I apologize to Cheshire Cat for getting angry. I guess I just care sometimes a little too much. And so when
that's okay. We all get angry, Jim. Sometimes we have to reel you back, but that's why we love you.
Thank you. And Big Show Pick says EPL on Pub at 4 p.m. Eastern today as well.
Yep. Shout out to Matt Lawrence, host of that show. One of the PSR originals. Been doing stuff on and off for PSR for a while.
All right.
So, all right. As I finalize this, I will say, Jim, you might not be too pleased with one of our plays.
It's okay. It doesn't matter. Like, look, I know I've gone 24-4. It's just ludicrous. And if you were to bet on me having a losing record through weeks 3 to 17, or 18, I should say. I mean, so I don't. NFL's a tricky, fickle sport, and I don't mind. Like going on the other side of me is not a bad thing, especially. I think we don't need to get into it. Okay, let's go with number 7, Jose. Can you hit me with the 7th?
Yes, and you know what, Jim? I did a little extra homework. We're actually going to give you 8 because 7 and 8 were at 65 and 64%. Want to give some special recognition to the Seattle Seahawks at 64 and the aforementioned Minnesota Vikings at 65%. I had to really hone down on my numbers here because numbers are hard. So shout out to me. 7th, like I said, bless you, Helga. 65%. Cleveland at 6, -6 at 68%. So those 3 teams do not make it. Cleveland, Minnesota, Seattle, 64, 65, and 68%. And that 70% threshold continues to be the threshold to make here for our show. 5th, the Cincinnati Bengals at 70% at -8. Hopefully a -7.5 if we lock these lines in tomorrow, or when we lock these lines in tomorrow, we'll see. Tampa Bay -3 at 71%. Baltimore -4.
Wait, slow down. Bucks -3. Okay. Number 3,
71%. Yes, at the Baltimore, I was about to call them the Orioles, but the Ravens at 4, -4 at 73%. Indianapolis Colts also at -4 at 75%. And at number 1, Preston, you said we don't take underdogs. Here's to you, Preston. Big fuck you to you, because we're taking the Texans plus 10.5 at 78%. That is our favorite play of the day.
Wow. Texans number 1. Wow. Colts. Oh, wow. Oh my gosh. I'm nervous. We need to succeed or this show doesn't.
That's, you know what? That's the truest things that we has ever said on this show. This show needs to succeed here. And I'll say this just for, for mentioning here, the lowest 52% with the Chicago Bears. So be careful. Be careful out there.
Oh yeah. What about the Dolphins?
The Dolphins, let's see here. The Dolphins, we had -4. I'll scroll back. Maybe I wrote it wrong. But I'm pretty sure we had it at Baltimore minus.
Oh, no, that was the Dolphins at 73.
Okay, beautiful. Then there we go. That was my mistake.
Was it right? Sorry, it was the Dolphins, right, guys?
I'm scrolling back up to see, because luckily on the YouTube chat we can see. And plus, we have a lovely little. Oh, there we go. So Dolphins at 70. So there we go. Good. I wrote it down wrong. Even better for me. Thank God.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, so perfect. Thank you guys for helping me out. This is why we're all together. We're multitasking, doing all these things. And I did say Jimmy would not like it as well. So I'm glad.
I remember that the Dolphins was going to. I just all moved so fast here. We're 4 minutes away from Sharpie's picks. Okay. Thank God. Thank you, guys.
Good save, everyone. Good save. That's why we need it, everyone. That's why we need it. That's why we need it, guys. Two dogs today.
So let's go over it. Texans, 78%. Colts, 75%. Dolphins, 73%. Bucks, 71%. Bengals, 70%.
Yep. Yep.
Okay, that makes me feel quite a bit better. I'm really nervous. We're going up against Sharps with the Bengals. We're going up against Sharps. Well, I guess it's not. There's some sharp money on the Cowboys, but we're going up against Sharps for sure with the Buccaneers, and we're going up against Sharps with the Colts.
Saturated next week, I will add vote counts onto my tabulation. So don't worry. And you did raise a good point earlier about if 80% of people voted on something, it's only 10 people. That's a good point. Unfortunately, we can't do anything about it, but I will write down those totals of votes for you next week, my man.
Jedi for life. We will finish this off in 2 minutes and then jump right over to our guy Sharpie's show. I put it up. I went over it yesterday where we are. So we went 3-2, which is pretty good. And this is the situation right now. We had. Is it going to show me here?
Yes, and if you just look up the circa standings, I think anyone can look them up, even if you're not in the contest. You just do a little Control F and then hit Pub Sports. You'll be able to find us as well and find the exact position too. I think and shout out to Jeff. We'll keep saying it. Shout out to Jeff for getting us this circa millionth entry, because it's a whole lot of fun doing this, and it's real. It's real money, and we really want to win this. You can look it up as well. So it's awesome.
Yeah, we're not in a bad spot. Most people in the tourney went 3 for 5. I can't believe I don't have it here. I thought I had the up. Oh, is that the update? Sorry, let me I guess it's not here. I looked at it yesterday. Here. Oh, that's the last season. Fuck. Okay. But 3-5 is a good start. I don't think we need to worry too much about anything else, but we need to have winning week after winning week after winning week.
Yep.
And we need to cheer heavy for the Texans, Colts, Dolphins, Bucks, and Bengals. And thank you so much to our guy, Jeff Slaughter, our leader, for getting us in. This is so much fun. Thank you, Jose. Thank you for Dabby Cab backstage for helping us out here. And thank you to all of you guys. Man, J-Dub, Minnesota Cards, Billy Friedrich, Slatsy, Jedi for Life, Clint, Ron Crawford, Alex Gagnon, Mr. Vape, Saturated, Lee Davis.
Cheshire Cat.
Yeah, I apologize for getting so angry. I just felt like he was undermining.
I love you, Cheshire Cat. Don't worry. You could be annoying in my things all the time. I got you, dog.
Yeah, and if I bounce you, Jose will bring you back in.
Yeah. I'm the softy of the two of us. You know how that is.
Love you guys. All right, head over to Sharpie's prize picks right now. the Balking Dead. But let's go out there and let's have another winning week. And let's come back here with hope in week 3. That's what we want. We want hope in week 3. Jose, I love hosting the show with you. Thank you to everybody. Lee Davis says 5-0, fellas, make it happen. Let's go. Let's fucking go.
We need it.
Travis spoken. It's time for me to go. Bye. Travis spoken.